Hi there, I'm the nature guy and I'm in southern Texas. In fact, I'm on South Padre Island, which is about as far southeast as you can go. And here on South Padre Island, there's a really neat place that birders like to go to. It's this huge mudflat. So when the tide goes out, it exposes all of this land and it's just covered in shells. You can see there's a lot of stuff living in here. During high tide, it might only be a few inches deep. But now the tide is all the way out there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of birds out there. We're going to try to get a little closer. We're actually here with our vehicle on the mud flat because it's really hard. And so we can drive quite a bit closer. It turns out that a car is a good blind. Now, what's a blind? It's just something to hide in so the wildlife can't see you. And so you can drive all the way out to where the birds are. You don't want to get too close and scare them off. But then you get a lot closer and get some great pictures and some great views of the shorebirds. Now this time of year in winter, the shorebirds are in their winter plumage. So there's a lot of gray and not all the more brilliant colors that you see in the summer. But it's a fun challenge. Let's go see what we can find. So when you're looking at shorebirds, it's really important to look at the color and shape of the bill and the color of the legs and sometimes the toes of the bird too. Now this one is a marbled godwit. Notice its long legs and its long bicolored bill that is slightly upturned. Now this one is a long-billed curlew. Its body is about the same size and color as the marbled godwit we just saw. But notice it has a long down curved bill. The name long-billed curlew makes a lot of sense. This one has a bit shorter bill, but it's perfectly straight. But notice this bird has greenish legs, so that makes it a short-billed dowitcher. They're pretty cool birds. They're often seen in big flocks. Some shorebirds have really short bills, like this piping plover. These are the birds that nest on the beaches on the shores of the Great Lakes in Michigan. You may have encountered a beach that was closed temporarily for the nesting season. Well, this is the bird, the piping plover. Ruddy turnstones get their names from finding food by flipping over pebbles or small rocks or sometimes even shells to see if there's anything tasty that might be hiding underneath. It's pretty obvious with its bright orange feet and legs. Some birds on the mudflats are not technically shorebirds, but they're often found on the shores. These, for example, are black skimmers. These are the ones that feed by dragging their lower bill in the water as they quickly fly by and then snap up any fish that they might run into. These ones, I guess, were just taking a rest. Egrets and herons are also found hanging out on the mudflats. They can be fun to identify because many of the immatures are white. This one, for example, is an immature reddish egret. What? Yep, this is, when this one gets older, it will change color and look like this. This little guy is a western sandpiper. In the winter, he's not very impressive, but in the spring, during breeding plumage, he gets some very interesting highlights. Take a look. Now, here's one that's confusing in the winter. It's rather a plain bird with a short bill. It's called a black-bellied plover. Now, I don't see any black on the belly, but in the spring, when it molts to its breeding plumage, well, look at that. So what's the lesson we can learn? Well, just like these shorebirds can change their colors by losing the old feathers and growing in new ones each season, we too can be changed. Now, we don't have feathers to change, but the Bible says that with God's help, we can lose our old way of doing things and replace them with good habits that not only help ourselves, but help others around us. I want God to change me. How about you?